Very good evening, everybody, and welcome to the iRacing Esports Network. This is the ARLTC Championship, presented by Apex Racing TV. Andrew Woodhouse with Adam Bath and with Sam Kumo on the cameras. We are at the Road America circuit in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, in the United States. And Adam, well, this is a great circuit. We always enjoy coming here, get some great racing every time. Pretty much every single type of corner available here.
Oh, I love this track. Not just because I perform well in the official series, but because there's as you mentioned, so many great places to go overtake stun. You could try and get by in the first corner, but then you may be at a disadvantage for turn 2. Then you got the long slipstreaming back straight. Well, we call it a straight. It's got a few bends in there, and then you got the hard braking point at turn 3 or turn 5, and then it's up the hill, trying to get the move done into the 90-degree left under the bridge, and then you've got the toughest part of the circuit, the kink, and then the run to Canada corner. So there's going to be hot spots all over the circuit today in the free races, and if the action's anything to go by from what I saw in practice when I just joined the session, I think we could be in for an absolute cracker here.
Yeah, qualifying well and truly underway. For those new to the series, welcome. We very much enjoy having you with us tonight on this Thursday evening, and there are 3 sprint races on every single one of these ARLTCR meetings, and they will be 20 minutes long. So we'll get about 9 or 10 laps in, I think, and they're decided by this qualifying session, which we are halfway through now. And then we get the second and third races of the evening, which are decided by the reverse grid wheel. That wheel will be spun, and whoever's number comes up will be reversed onto pole position. It is as simple as that. And well, it's been a great start for Ross McFarlane, but look at the 2 Coopers, Luke and Jason, for Automech. We said they've been improving. We've said that they've been challenging near the front now for some time. They've really brought some pace with them here to Road America.
Yeah, there were signs of promise at Imola last week, and they're slowly edging closer forward to the front of the field here, and they're only separated the 2 Coopers by 7 thousandths of a second. So it shows how close they've been working together. There is an official practice on the night before, so on Wednesday night, and I wonder if they learned something there, because it definitely has carried through to this qualifying session. And Jason Cooper, I believe he's leading the pro standings at the moment.
I feel like the established names will need to take a good hard look at Automech and see what they're doing in order to improve their own situation. And speaking of the situation, we have the championship standings there, and it is Jason Cooper who leads the championship. Now, we said it's fairly surprising that he's up at the front, but really we mean consistently up at the front, because he has been getting those points in all season long, and he lies at the top of the pro standings at the moment. Ben Palmer is in second place, Jack Sedgwick is third, George Simmons is fourth, Pete Harrod is fifth, then Ross Balfour in sixth, Jamie Rushworth is seventh, and then eighth for Jake Blackall, ninth for Ash Sutton, 10th for Adam Hadfield, and then the rest, at the moment anyway, locked out of the showdown, and they will be battling for a wild card. But of course, anything can happen as we go throughout the season. In the AM category, Luke Cooper leads the way, and with so Cooper, well, absolutely locking out the standings in both categories. 629 points for him. Simon Field in second place, then Mark Woodhouse, then Adam Hedgecock, then Pete Newman, Matt Bunn is 6th, Adam McNally 7th, Sean Gardner 8th, Rob Sutherland 9th, Jack Stiles in 10th, and then Mark Johnson just 1 point behind.
Yeah, one thing we do like about this new format for this season, back in the last couple of years we started the season in March and gone all the way through to October before we get the showdown going, and that means that the gaps between each driver in the championship does tend to spread out. But here it's almost as if we don't need a showdown. Everyone's separated by about 5 or 6 points, so it's testament to the series and how it's managed to make sure that everybody is still reasonably competitive. The drivers are at the front in race 1. They don't often get to the front in race 2 or race 3. The reverse grid wheel tends to do a good job of spicing up the action at the front anyway.
Yeah, and looking at the qualifying standings at the moment, with just 3 minutes left, I hasten to add, a lot of drivers who we're really not used to being at the very front of this series being up there. I think James Holman's just put it on the front row with the fastest sector 6 out of anybody, 2:19.54, just a fraction slower than Ross McFarlane, who's currently on pole position. Here is James Holman, then turn 3 Motorsport Yellow, and Paulo Preto's up in 15th place. Good run by the Brazilian. Jack Stiles with a good time as well for Texans Fitstein Motorsport. Lee Berridge up in the top 20. as well. A lot of drivers haven't set a time so far, and that includes Peter Dempsey, who's on a lap at the moment. Kevin Carlisle, Michael Ndoka. I think most of these guys actually might have suffered from penalties, Adam, coming from Imola.
I'm not surprised, to be fair. If you watch what happened at Imola, there were quite a few collisions at Villeneuve, at Piratella in particular, and Variante Alta too. So, yeah, we have got a good, I'd say, dozen that haven't set times yet. Turn 3 Motorsports were, again, very close to getting their first win, I believe, in the ARLTC last week. And with James Holman up in third, this could just be their opportunity to get it done. However, they do have to get by two of the quickest drivers in the series from years gone by. Jack Sedgwick, he's got the number 2 on his car because he was second in the championship last year, lost out agonisingly at Daytona, and then Ross McFarlane, who's been consistently at the front for Protect Sense Fitstar Motorsport in the last few seasons too. So if Turn 3 Motorsports want to get it done in the first race, they're going to have to get by some pretty decent peddlers in this series.
Indeed, Sedgwick putting in a great time. It's nearly half a second quicker than anybody else so far, so he's really got the bit between his teeth this time. The Apex Racing team driver. Conspicuous by his absence is Wojciech Svidovic. No sign of the reigning champion tonight, at the moment at least, as Peter Dempsey goes up into 11th place. Pete Newman goes up in 7th, Ben Palmer into 13th position as well, just behind David Baker.
One thing we haven't really touched on in this qualifying session is, as you can see, everybody is all nose to tail. The slipstream is so important here. You've got the run at the bottom of the hill, over the leap, and then across the line, and then down the back straight. The slipstream is going to be more important there, and on the exit of the kink too. So that's why everybody's running so close. You will not believe how much time you can get, how much time you can gain rather, by running in this pack of cars.
Yeah, indeed. Craig Williams just goes up to 12th as well with 2:20.02. Just under a second off the pole position. Brilliant lap by Cedric, really is. Luke Cooper then. See him coming through. He's currently in 9th place. It's a good start for he and for Jason. They've dropped off a little bit as other people have set their times, and maybe a little bit of track evolution as well. But as Ash Sutton goes off in the background, he gets out of the way of Adam McNally, who's now driving for Automech himself. Of course, he used to be driving with Excite Energy. There's a car in the wall. Don't know who that was. I think it might have been well, Luke Cooper actually.
Yeah, it's definitely an Automech car. I'm surprised that Ash Sutton has got enough energy left. I was watching his live stream earlier today. He was in, I believe he was in one of the F3 cars at Imola. Didn't go too well for him from the bit I was watching on his stream anyway. And here he is a couple of hours later in the ARLTC car. It's probably a world apart from those single seaters, and currently he's in 4th place. Definitely one to watch for sure in his first race. Ben Palmer, who's been almost like Jason Cooper, pretty consistent in the opening few race meetings, coming to end his final flying lap now.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Josh Thompson's just gone into the top 5 as well in the Craig Setup Shop car. Saw him absolutely dominate in the World GT Championship, pace-wise at least. Anyway, on Monday night, as the slipstream is relinquished, and a lap set by Ben Palmer now. Just in front of him is. Have they gone each other's way a little bit, or is it over? No, it's over, isn't it? Check the flag.
And Ben Palmer.
He's out.
Sorry, he's leapt up to 2nd as Ben Palmer. Fantastic lap there, 2:19.3, which moves him within a third of a second of Jack Sedgwick. A brilliantly timed late lap there by the CQR Club driver.
Yeah, indeed, and Palmer's been very good this season. He's got real world experience, just like Ash Sutton and a few others in this field. Peter Dempsey is notable in that regard as well. And yeah, some good driving from the guys out there. Good times being set. Road America circuit then is probably one of the oldest circuits on iRacing. It was definitely around when I was when I started in iRacing in 2011. And this track, well, it's been open since 1955. It's hosted things like the IndyCar Series, the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Some memorable races there in those cars in the old Nationwide Series days, Adam.
Oh yeah, tricky spots there, turn 1 and turn 5, I think. Jacques Villeneuve and Danica might not have liked each other after something that happened there, I think. I think
Just
even
the race
Nelson...
when Danica Patrick ran over his shoe, or was that?
Oh no, that was Montreal.
I'm not sure.
I think Nelson Piquet Jr. won a race here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series as well. So
There you go.
yeah, steeped in history.
Indeed. And as the last few drivers coming through, always good races to watch, though, indeed, because it's so unusual to see them here. Wish the Cup Series came here. It'd be a great event if they decided to do that. But yeah, just waiting for. Not really sure what we are waiting for, actually. I think
We're waiting for Kip, I think.
Oh, we're waiting for Kip. Kip's decided that he wants to make the most of his time out there on the circuit.
Here he is.
He gets 15 seconds of fame. He's old Kip Stevens, the two-time champion of the series, 34th place in qualifying.
And even then, he doesn't get enough time.
Yeah, doesn't always have the qualifying pace these days, does Kip, Adam, but he does tend to come good in the races.
Yeah, he had a good few laps at the front in race 3 at Imola, I think, last week before things decided to get a bit wild there. And we do have the grid up on the screen now. So here we go. Jack Sedgwick on the pole. Ben Palmer seconds, just 3/10 of a second behind. Jake Blackall, God knows when his last victory in this series was. He's starting in 3rd with TechSense Fitstar Motorsports Ross McFarlane in 4th. James Holman, Turn 3 Motorsports up in the top 5 for this one. And Ash Sutton in 6th. Josh Thompson, similarly minded driver in 7th. Then Pete Howard in P8. 9th for Pete Newman, just 1,000th of a second behind. And the Belgian David Von Breck in 10th. Those two the highest Pro-Am drivers in the field, hence their blue stripe. Luke Cooper, top AM driver in the championship and 3rd highest AM driver in race 1. Adam Hadfield starting in 12th. 13th place is Adam McNally, then Jason Cooper in 14th, our overall championship leader. Craig Williams 15th, 16th for Peter Dempsey. 17th Dave Baker, 18th for Mark Woodhouse, and then it's Hedgecock and Bunn completing the top 20 there. Connor Parise, local hero you could say, from Helding from America, starting in 21st. Mike Corder 22nd, 23rd for Jamie Rushworth and Jack Stiles in 24th place. 25th Sean Garner, then Paolo Preto, we touched on at the beginning, Woody there, he's in 26th. Then Lee Berridge 27th, Simon Fields, John Roberts and Paolo Prema completing the top 30. Then it's Rob Graham, Matt Borger, Rob Sutherland, Kip Stevens, who we saw completing his lap late on there. Then it's Scott Malcolm, Rob Jackson, 36th, 37th for Tyler Vickery, Ross Balfour, Tim Grevin, and Evans Wojciech Davidovich in 40th. Then it's Michael Evdoka, Damon Harris in 42nd, then Tim Stabani, Daniel Nage, Nicky Meredith in 45th, then Kevin Carlisle, Mark Johnston, and Michael Blake. And then at the back, on the back row of the grid, Nathan Davis, who managed to win at Imola, and then Rob Barrable 50th, and then Jake Robertson in 51st place.
Well done there. And we're going to get the start anytime now. So the lights are coming on. The lights are off. The race is on at Road America. It's a great start by Palmer. Got away very nicely indeed from 2nd place. We're all filtering down to the first corner. Let's see what happens. As Sedgwick still leads. He holds the inside line into this pretty fast right-hander. 2 right-handers, and then he's going to have to surely defend Adam as they go down the hill into what some call turn 3, what some don't, but it's the 3rd time you turn the wheel effectively on this track.
Yeah, we're going to get our tongues tied with that all night, I think. Everybody very well behaved in the first few corners. Now this is when all the action tends to start, when the slipstreaming really kicks in down the back straight here. Ash Sutton already setting to work on Jake Blackall potentially, and so too Ben Palmer potentially going for the lead into the left hand at the end of the straight. It's all about being latest on the brakes, and he's just going to get a nose up the inside.
Well, he just gets the nose in, but it does very, very well to avoid Jack Sedgwick as well. So there was very nearly contact between the two of them, but into the left-hander. There you go, and Sedgwick on his way to the carousel. Blackall sort of a little bit wide in pursuit. Pete Newman's in 10th. You see him on the screen. He's got Luke Cooper and Adam Hadfield and Jason Cooper, so 3 ultimate cars right immediately behind him.
They might be able to work together, I think, if they can potentially get a run going, maybe on the exit of the final corner, that long drag up to the start-finish line. But so far, everybody pretty much where they started, at least in the top 20 anyway. Big gains for Mark Woodhouse. He's already at 3 places. Other drivers gaining 1. Jason Cooper, the points leader. David Van Breck, Ash Sutton, and Ross McFarlane also getting good starts. So here we go through the fastest part of the circuit.
Wow, terrific stuff through the King. Very, very quick drivers. Very, very quick cars through there. And into Canada Corner they come. Cedric still with the lead. And that lead is 0.3 of a second. Only on Ben Palmer. There's a coming together there, and off goes Adam Hedgecock in the boosted motorsport car. He's off to the side, and he may have to do better reversing, I think, there. Trying to come back on a bit further round. Oh, he's not going to be able to get that round. Yeah, bad place to stop. Or bad place to end up. More likely, he obviously didn't choose to stop there, but here is James Holman. And he's taking on Ash Sutton. Josh Thompson and Jake Blackwell. That's the feisty group of 4.
Yeah, not too sure what happened to Blackwell because
Holman's disappearing. That's not gonna help Josh Thompson's view of this situation at all. Peter Dempsey in trouble. Peter Dempsey's dropping down the order.
Damage to the Turn 3 Motorsports car on the front left. That won't help him on this long back straight which we're about to go on to. But yeah, something happened to Jake Blackwell because he was running up in 4th place. He was ahead of Ash Sutton when we last checked in on him, and now he's down to 7th. So maybe it was going wide at Canada Corner or the final corner, but whatever. The Aussie is down to 7th now.
So Sutton and Blackwell sort of go off at the same time, somewhere in the middle of the lap. So I wonder if they did make any contact with each other.
In case you're wondering, on the timing tower, we're not 23 minutes into the race. This is lap 2, and we're 3 minutes into the race.
Yeah, we've got a small issue with the way that the time and the laps are represented on the screen. Hopefully we'll have that resolved for next week. And it last night, so unfortunately. Oh, and look at that. That's Lee Berridge, isn't it, ahead of John Roberts, Dempsey and Rushworth and Conor Parise. Just in front of them, that's for 19th, 20th, 21st and back. We've lost Mats Borger Anderson and we've lost Michael Blake on the first lap. See, they're registering at the top of the tower because they're actually towed back to the pits.
Yeah, so they're technically
showing it's ahead.
Yeah, they technically completed the lap, haven't they? But of course they'll be towing back for quite a while because this is probably one of the longest laps we've got on the calendar. There is Michael Avdoka. He's been gaining loads of places since the start of the race.
Yeah, Avdoka 30th, then Rob Sutherland 31st. Yeah, you see those guys now fall down the tower. Ross McFarlane, that's this lap of the race, just quickly bettered by Ash Sutton. 220.0 as the lead battle is on. Is that Wojciech Svidovic who's pulled off to the side?
Yeah, they were lapping him. That's not something you see every day in this series anyway.
Indeed, so real issues for Wojciech Svidovic. Not sure what's happened to the reigning champion, but I think he's out of the race.
So flying the flag for Apex Racing Team, then it's this man, Jack Cedric, and right now he's got his work cut out because he's got CQR Club's Ben Palmer and NTEC Centre Style Motorsports Ross McFarlane right behind him, and he's going to get assaults from both sides here going into the left-hander.
Yeah, Palmer drawing level with Cedric. To the tight left at the back of the circuit. McFarlane's still alongside, he wants to just get the nose in, but Palmer slightly braver on the outside. That corner, you can go around the outside there, as it just kind of favour that car on the right hand side. We're looking back at Ashley Sutton's car, this CQR Club car, CQR Pure Sim car, sorry, as it hunts down Ross McFarlane. Some well behaved stuff, Adam, in the early going, certainly.
Indeed, yeah, the carousel, all the drivers doing very well through there. I know some of the races you and I have done in the past, drivers haven't been able to take that corner too well at all. It's harder than it looks, especially.
Oh, you mean about 2 weeks ago?
Oh well. Sorry, I brought it up. These front-wheel drive cars, of course, they're going to understeer like crazy, and it makes it even more difficult to get through that long right-hander. Here comes Sutton. He's gone past the kink and he's heading to Canada Corner now. Third place is in the offing here for CQR Pure Sims driver, former PTCC champion, but no way through there. It does invite an overtake, that right-hander, especially with the runoff area, the tarmac rumble strips on the exit. Because if you do miss the braking point by a little bit, you can use that to bail yourself out almost.
Hadfield letting his teammates through. Look at that big train of Automech cars there, 4 of them in a row. Cooper, Hadfield and McNally. The 2 Coopers and Hadfield driving for the same Automech team, and then Adam McNally driving for their AM team.
Look at this. They're almost separated by an invisible tow rope here as come over the line to start lap 4 of the race, side by side between the 2 teammates. Championship leader Jason Cooper trying to get by Pro-Am Championship leader Luke Cooper, and it's Cooper ahead of Cooper. This time it's Jason that leads the way going into the first corner.
My money's on Cooper.
Definitely. One of them's blue, one of them's red.
Newman just in front of them in the CQR Sim Sports car. 3 teams CQR running this season. It's about 1/5 of the entire field.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, it's going to kick off now, isn't it? And McFarlane, I think, nudged Sedgwick, sent him wide, and I think it also took Palmer wide with him.
Yeah, Sedgwick having a little wiggle with the car just to make sure there was no damage. He's now got James Holman for company. Yeah,
Thompson as well. Thompson's trying to go around the outside of Palmer. It's brave to try that. He's going to have the inside for the left-hander at the bottom of the hill. 3 CQR teammates, the CQR club cars this time. I am correct. Ben Palmer, Jake Blackhall and Pete Harrod. I'm getting confused because Harrod, I'm used to Harrod driving the Sim Sports car, and I'm used to Palmer driving the other one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's been a bit of a change around this season, hasn't it? Especially in colour schemes too. And here comes Ash Sutton. It looks like he looked quite close to Ross McFarlane there. He's hooked up a decent tow. I think he might just be too far away for a move up the inside, and he is just about. Anyway, Ross McFarlane brakes very late, and he might just run a bit wide. He has.
Yeah, indeed he has. McFarlane, so struggling away with that one by a couple of tenths of a second, just about ahead of Ash Sutton. But Jack Sedgwick is still there. He's not giving up on the win, that's for sure. And why should he? There's still over half the race still to go, as Rory Walker would say.
Have a let me go then. Fell at 4 in the books now. Let's see who set the quickest lap times. Is Ross McFarlane going to move to the inside? No, he doesn't. That might just work in his favour, but we'll have to wait and see. Sutton alongside into turn 1.
Sutton up the inside. Oh, and he clears him well. That's a brave move in there. I don't like going side by side with people in that corner. It just feels like it's so easy to make a mistake, and it just narrows somewhat on the exit. But yeah, Ash Sutton doing a good job there, cleanly through.
My casing point is if you block on the don't block. If you move over to the inside line, then it's very difficult for the person that's trying to overtake you to get by on the outside, especially for those first 2 corners. But here comes Ross McFarlane. He's not worried about that, and he's drafting his way by Sutton as we get a face full of Audi.
Yeah, he had a decision to make, and the decision was, I'm going to go for the inside. Sutton's going to try and bail out round the outside and get a good run into the next left-hander, but he's just going the long way round, isn't he, Sutton? But he knows at some point we've got to turn right, and this is it. This is a brilliant corner, actually, this right-hander down the hill, and well done by Ash Sutton. That's certainly track knowledge and experience coming into play on that one. As McFarlane goes off, he's into the gravel. That's going to be 3 or 4 places lost. The Scotsman, that's disaster for McFarlane. He's still in this race, but his shot at the podium might be over.
It's remarkable, that left-hander. It doesn't look too difficult, but there's almost no grip on the exit on the outside there.
There's no grip on the exit. There's no grip in the middle. There's no grip anywhere.
I daren't think the last time this circuit was resurfaced, and poor Ross McFarlane, as a result of going just fractionally wide, is down to 6th place.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
There you go. few people in the YouTube chat today. Thanks for smashing the like button.
Yes, they've not just pressed it gently, they've smashed it. We appreciate it.
Fraser Smith telling us that Adam McNally, who's in this race today, still with Excite, but he's racing with Automech in this series. So Adam McNally, just for those if they're intrigued to know where he is, he's in 14th place at the moment. As here they all come again, the long snake of ARLTC cars to start another lap.
Yeah, David Van Broek's had a good solid race. He's closing up to the back of this lead group. He's in, he started in 10th, he's up to 9th, so just a one position gain for Van Broek, who's been really, really impressive himself in the last couple of months, really. And Sutton going through again, then staying ahead of Cedric, shall we say. This is David Baker, the former champion on Thursday night.
Trying to get past. That is him trying to get past Adam McNally, I think, going through the left-hander. Indeed it is. McNally pulling back alongside. He took the outside line there, and it looks like it might work to his advantage, and he's got Craig Williams trying to get past Baker too. Yeah,
what's Williams going to do then? Is he pushing David Baker? I think he is. And these two are stuck together. He's got to give the people what they want. Into the left-hander. Oh, and McNally almost ran a little bit wide. He's almost shoving Williams off the circuit. Sorry, not Williams. Baker. Williams trying to get past to Baker. There we go.
I thought that was not going to end well, just as when Williams moved to the right-hand side, but it managed to work out. You may have noticed in the foreground.
I think there's a problem. Ross Balfour, Michael Docker, I think they might have just had a little bit of a problem. They might have been shuffled down the order a little bit. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but look at this battle for the lead that we have here. I mean, it's not really a battle for the lead. I mean, it's like a cargo train. It's about 15 cars.
It's just a conveyor belt. If any of the drivers get knocked off, another one comes along to fill the space. Really, they're separated by what looks like 1 second. 1 second coming the top 6 cars.
In fact, Mark Woodhouse in 18th place. It's only 5 seconds off the lead. That's how mental this is, and this is after 14 minutes of racing. Jack Sedgwick and Ash Sutton once more, and as you know, I remember Jonathan Palmer saying that as the race goes on, those little openings in the driver's mind become bigger and bigger, and then they decide to give in to temptation and have a go. Are we going to see that here, Adam, with 6 minutes left?
It's so easy to fall into that trap. I do it all the time. You get to about 2 laps to go and you think, well, I'm not going to give this lead up about a 5. You just do something boneheaded, I think, as some people say. But look at the driver darting about all over the place.
Oh, there's going to be a problem here, surely. You would imagine it anyway. Oh, Thompson banging wheel arches with Sutton. That slowed them both down. James Holman trying to get alongside Sutton. He very nearly gets into the back of him, but that's given Cedric half a second. That could be so valuable for Jack as he goes on his way. The Apex Racing team car, red colours for his personal sponsors, of course, there.
Now, half a second is no mean advantage. It's not advantageous for the rest of the race for Cedric, but it will be for now because the drivers will almost certainly gobble that gap back up. But it does bide him some time, especially on this lap. As here comes up the inside, that's Ben Palmer and
Holman. Oh, and there goes Thompson. Thompson smashes into Palmer. Oh, it's all kicking off behind. That's what happens when it's so closely matched. Everybody's in there, and Palmer's rear wings miraculously reattached to himself.
If you're thinking what I was thinking, I thought Holman might have moved across a bit late there, but yeah, that's what resulted in all that chaos at the 90-degree left at the bottom of the hill, and it has meant now that it's Cedric, Sutton, Thompson now in the top 3.
Yeah, Williams down to 14th then after that. Thompson, I think Thompson was lucky really. He did end up hitting Palmer quite hard. Palmer did have no rear wing after that large impact, but like I say, it's come back. So who knows on that one? Maybe something for iRacing to have a little look at.
That was a tough one, that, because Palmer had a fraction of a car at the inside and Holman was already going for the apex. I wonder how the stewards will think of that one. As here we are, this is Pete Newman getting past.
Wow, they're all at it now.
Yeah, definitely. Jason Cooper, he survived all of that and is now up 6 places to 8th position now.
Yeah, he's under a bit of pressure from Van Broek. Adam Hadfield's in 10th. You can see him there in the red Automech car. James Holman down to 11th. He's not going to be happy with what's transpired in that particular incident, but Cedric leads by 1.5 seconds as a result of that, so they've pretty much handed him the victory on this occasion. Once he gets to the front, he's very, very rarely ever pulled back.
Ultimate lap of the race then, and we have 5 different teams represented in the top 5. Cedric for the Apex Racing team, Sutton for CQR Pure Sims, Josh Thompson representing Craig's Setup Shop, and then Ross McFarlane for TechSense Fitstyle Motorsports, and Jake Blackwell, who's climbed back up to 5th from CQR Clubs, so all different teams there.
It's good to see Blackwell up there. He certainly has the talent. Just doesn't get the good fortune usually. Sutton is closing in slightly on Cedric. He's getting 2 tenths on him in this lap, but it's still going to be difficult to catch and pass him, but we'll see exactly if he can do that or not. Ross McFarlane in P5. He's having a look at Jake Blackwell through this infield section. Let's see what he can do. You see side by side in the background between James Holman and Adam Hadfield. Holman trying to recover as he was inside the top 5.
Blackwell gained another place on that lap. I think we saw him overtake Ross McFarlane on the back straight, but you're right, this is off. That's Adam Hadfield. He's gone into the gravel, and that is a shame for him.
He's facing the wrong way. He might have to do a 3-point turn to get out of there. Let's see what happened to Hadfield then. Oh, yeah. Came across the front, didn't he, a little bit. We might have to see that again another time, but yeah, it looked like it's a tough one. Got a bit stuck together in the quarter panel in chute. Looking at Meredith and Sutherland. We're now ahead of Hadfield.
Could be reverse grid spots they're fighting over there. Of course, it's a random spin, so you can't just sit in a position and know you're going to be on the pole.
Well, indeed. And which is a good thing, because we've seen many times drivers decide they would like to intentionally lose positions. Not here, of course, not in this league, but in other leagues.
Final lap
not
then.
Necessarily just on not on iRacing either.
Oh well, no. There are a few names that spring to mind.
Well,
yeah.
We'll see what's on the menu for the final lap. This one, as we'll see.
Well, right now, Jack Cedric's on a way to a dish containing some bubbly, I think, because he has got a
precision of a Swiss watch.
1.4 second lead over Ash Sutton here, and well, it's all about the 5 per second. And Sutton v Thompson. We said when we were going through the grid that these two love to race hard, and I wonder if Thompson fancies to move up the inside here. No, just not yet. I know that Thompson said on his Facebook page before we got going that he wants to get some decent points on the board, and here he goes. He's trying to go for second.
Yeah, that's it. He wants P2 then. Josh Thompson, through. Good move there. Sutton comes back though. He's looking for the cutback, trying the outside into the fast right-hander. That's very, very difficult indeed. Thompson, is he going to defend the inside? Sutton could outbrake him here, because he is very capable on the brakes. Probably his strongest attribute, in fact, I would say, as a driver, is his commitment and lateness on the brakes.
David Von Breck was off on the final lap. He's down to 15th place. So he's off at the left-hander before the Sausage Bridge, and he's now getting passed by Mark Woodhouse around the outside. That'd be a brave move. He could pull that off.
Indeed, is this? Oh my word! Woodhouse getting sideways, and Van Broek just about survives it. But we're going into Canada corner for the last time. Cedric, you can see he's ahead. But who's going to come out ahead in this battle for second? Thompson drives it in hard to the apex. He's pushing Sutton. Sutton's gone onto the curb, and I think Thompson's clear. But can they do anything through Thunder Valley? And then Bill Mitchell Bend, where they're going now. And Sutton's going round the outside. He's trying it, but to the line. The winner of round 1 of the evening here on the ARLTCR is going to be Jack Cedric for Apex Racing Team. Brilliant stuff by Cedric. He managed to fight through the chaos. It's going to be Thompson in second. And look at this. Blackhall. Oh, Oh, Jake Blackhall very nearly got the third place, but it's Ash Sutton who gets there, and he picks up a little bit of the bubbly.
And that bubbly was 1,000th of a second away from being Jake Blackhall's. You don't get them closer than that.
Well, no, indeed. And Blackhall fought hard there, didn't he? Really did.
There's Tim Greven coming across the line for Craig's setup shop, 28th place, 11 places gained. We did have a lot of decent drivers that didn't set times in quali, coming through from the back and gaining tons. The likes of Balfour, Damien Harris, Tim Stabani, Kevin Carlisle, all gaining 20 places plus in that opening one.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, really, by those guys. There's a lot of chaos kind of in that midfield area in the middle of the race, which I think we missed some of it. But yeah, great stuff by Balfour, Harris, Stabani, Carlisle, Meredith, Evdoka, Greven, Johnson, and Naj and Barrable with double-figure position gains. Brilliant race, Adam. I really enjoyed that one. That was good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I think the drivers did too, as they start getting up the handbrake and going for a bit of sliding around this circuit.
But as well, just to remind everybody not to go anywhere, because it won't be too long before we'll be on race 2 of the evening, which will be decided by the, look at that, as it will be decided by the reverse grid wheel, which will read out after the race results. So stick around with us. Don't leave us here on the iRacing Esports Network, because we do have 40 more minutes of racing for you between now and about 10:15, something like that.
Jack said
Yeah, let's have a. Can we get that? Actually, there's a request on the chat. Can we have a replay of the battle for third at the very end, just to see what happened the last couple of corners? Is that possible?
Well, yeah, because Jake Blackhall was all of a sudden alongside Ash Sutton. But here's Peter Dempsey. I think he's the last driver we're waiting for to make this race official, and indeed it is now. So yeah,
not a classic race for the Irishman, but he had built up quite a good. He had done quite a good first half of the race, but I'm not sure what happened then, as we'll get the results and then maybe we'll see the battle for third at the end.
Yeah, we'll do the results and get the grid out of the way first. I think Jack Sedgwick wins by 3.3 seconds in the end. That gap managed to gain quite a bit because of the battling between all of these guys on the final lap. Josh Thompson in second. He was 2 tenths ahead of Ash Sutton, who in turn was 1,000th of a second ahead of Jake Blackhall. Ross McFarlane only a 10th of a second away in 5th, and then Pete Harrod P6, and then Pete Newman in 7th. Jason Cooper, championship leader, in 8th. James Holman dipped down a bit towards the end there, 9th, and Ben Palmer completing the top 10. Those two had that contact, of course, at turn 5. Dave Baker, 11th. 12th, Craig Williams. 13th in the second of the AMs, but the Pro-Am championship leader, of course, Luke Cooper. Then Matt Bunn, David Von Breck, Jamie Rushworth there in 16th. 17th place for Adam McNally, and then Mark Woodhouse in 18th. Moving on further back, 19th place for Lee Berridge, 8 positions gained there for the Boosters SimSport driver. Ross Balfour gaining 18 positions to finish in the top 20. Damien Harris in 21st place. Tim Stabani, the German, in 22nd. 23rd place for Kevin Carlisle. Nicky Meredith just 7 tenths of a second away in 24th. Michael Evdoka in P25. Then the 2 Pro-Am drivers there, Rob Sutherland and Rob Graham. Tim Greven in 28th place. 29th for Kip Stevens, the Automech driver. Adam Hadfield there in 30th after his trip into the gravel. Mark Johnston, 31st. Daniel Naj, the Hungarian for Instant Driving Academy, in 32nd. Then 2 Irishmen, Simon Field and Rob Barrable, followed by the Italian Paolo Bremer in 35th. 36th place for Adam Hedgecock, then Sean Gardner, his teammate, in 37th. Rob Jackson for Simtech in 38th. Connor Paris towards the rear of the field, but 39th was Adam Hedgecock. In fact, I think it might have been Paolo Preto after that. I know a few people on the YouTube chat were asking for where he finished. Paolo Preto in 38th. 39th for Adam Hedgecock. Getting my positions mixed up, aren't I? 40th, Tyler Vickery. 41st, Scott Malcolm. Then it's Mike Corder, John Roberts, who was the last car on the lead lap, John Roberts. Jack Stiles 1 lap down. Wojciech Savidovic 1 lap down as well, so they'll all score points. But unfortunately for Wojciech Savinovic, he's the last car 1 lap down, and so unless we get a massive number, I don't think he's going to be at the on the pole. So he'll be starting towards the rear for race 2. Peter Dempsey 4 laps down, so he won't get any points. 6 laps down for Conor Paris, and 2 drivers that are out of the race pretty much on the opening lap: Mads Anderson and Michael Blake.
All right, well, that's the grid. Well done, Adam, for that. The finishing results with over 50 cars always quite tricky. But for now, we hand over to our director, Sam Kumo, who's got the reverse grid wheel there. And Sam, I wonder if it's going to be something close to a full reverse. That could be quite interesting.
Well, it's definitely going to be interesting based on what we saw in that race with the top 20 within 10 seconds. So let's just spin it. And yeah, after this we will take a look at the finish for the 3rd place. And it is going to be full -4.
So that's 1, 2. Scott Malcolm, I'm making it.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm counting to 4. Yeah, Scott Malcolm.
I think so. We said this last week, though, didn't we? And it was right. So we'll take your word on that one. So Scott Malcolm is going to start on pole. Wojciech Savinovic just missing out on that by, he was an extra lap down, wasn't he? So he probably wouldn't have got that anyway. Malcolm ahead of Hedgecock. Paolo Preto is going to be 3rd, then Rob Jackson, then Tyler Vickery. And I think we have the replay coming up for the finish between Sutton and Blackall.
This might be too early. Let's see, can we find it?
Here we go, yeah. So coming through the kink, Adam, on the last lap.
You have to talk it through, I can't see it.
Okay, so coming down to Canada corner then. Thompson on the inside. He pushes Sutton slightly wide. Sutton gets onto the curb. And then does he try and move here through? So he nudges Thompson. And then in the last corner, Thompson sticks right on the white line. Sutton goes out wide. He bangs wheel arches with Thompson. And he just gets a poor run out of the final corner and up the hill. Oh, Blackall takes to the grass, almost without taking to the grass. I think he would have got that one. Super, super close, the Australian to the line with Sutton. And yeah, terrific finish to that race 1. So join us after the break. Then we're going to take a small break here on iRacing Esports Network. And after the break, we will be back with race 2 of the evening here in the Apex Racing League ARLTC Championship from Road America. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. Road America in the United States. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath, and Sam Kumo is doing the cameras for us as usual. And Adam, well, we've got a big reverse grid on this one. 4 minus 4 means that there's over 40 cars reversed for this.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes, really. I think we could be in for a classic here in race 2. Here's the grid. Scott Malcolm starts on the pole. Paolo Preto was getting a bit of love on the YouTube chat. He's up on the second row of the grid in 3rd place, so good opportunity for him to get some decent points on the board for the Brazilian. Paulo Bremer in 7th, Rob Barrable in 8th, and Daniel Nash completing the top 10. He's shown some promise in the first few races he's done anyway. Moving on further back, Kip Stevens, he's in 13th, veteran of the series. Highest American in the field, Kevin Carlisle, starting in 19th.
Well, apart from Tyler Vickery in 2nd place, Adam, as well.
Oh yeah, sorry Tyler. God, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. He'll win, probably. Oh god, I can't come back from that. Then it's outside the top 20. It's Damien Harris, Moss Balfour, Lee Berridge, and Mark Woodhouse. So you've got to scroll all the way down to 40th and 41st to find our podium position drivers for race 1: Ash Sutton, Josh Thompson, and Jack Sedgwick. Here we go then. I'm getting set for the start.
Here we go indeed.
Jump start.
Oh no, Malcolm, he's thrown it all away. And the lights are off, the race is on. Obviously a terrible start from Malcolm. I don't know if he really knew what to do in the end after jumping the start. Tyler Vickery into the lead, and Paulo Preto is going to take over 2nd place then. The Brazilian driver in the fiercely forward car. Oh, he's been turned by Malcolm. It's right in front of everybody. I think most people have got away with it though into turn 1. Preto off, and that's really pretty poor by Malcolm. He's had a jump start. He had a jump start there, Adam, and surely the best thing to do would have been just to avoid contact on the first lap. Surely, because he's going to be at the back anyway.
I think if you've jumped this time, may as well just go anyway. You're going to get a penalty anyway, and if he
Well,
had
yeah,
gone, then I think he probably would have avoided all of that. So that's a shame for Preto. It's my fault for picking him up, really. But here comes here comes Gardner and Malcolm now going into the left-hander. It should be the boosted car ahead. Yes, it is. Just.
Yeah, Sean Gardner through. And Rob Barrable has snuck through then the turn 3 motorsport yellow car. The Irishman into 2nd place. Oh, there's a carambolage there down at the the 3rd corner. Not sure who that was. It was off. It might have been
That Bun, I think.
was it Bun? Yeah.
A few drivers also started from the pit lane. They probably were grateful for that because they probably have managed to avoid all this, like the Daniel Nage as well.
That's the thing, Adam, actually. That's the ones that got me confused. Because on the Monday night, this is going to be bad. Styles, bang! Oh, dear. Styles clashing with Mike Horder there as Styles lost it. Nothing he could really do there. I wonder if he was turned. I didn't quite see the beginning of it.
They're all off.
Oh, everyone's off at the King, cutting up the grass. Please replace your divots, boys. As Gardner, Malcolm, Hedgecock, Evdoka taking to the grass. It's not been a good lap for Malcolm, that is for sure. Evdoka having a look on Hedgecock. Malcolm's in the gravel. Oh dear, and it's all unravelling for the Scotsman.
It's not been the best.
Marnie going through. Kevin, and Malcolm's made contact with Carlisle and Balfour and a couple of his teammates, and another one coming through. And that, I'll be honest, if I was him, I'd probably just retire the car after that.
Well, if
my God, look at that. Who's that having to go right across the inside to avoid him? Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. We do like you here at Apex Racing TV, but that is probably one of the worst first laps of any race I think I've ever seen from anybody.
Jump start, collided with Preto, had a move up the inside into the left-hander, and then the final 2 corners from hell, really. Scott Malcolm.
Something happened to Rob Graham? He's got a slowdown penalty.
Not sure. You can see a lot of cars with damage. There was one car off there. That was Rob Jackson. Good thing for Scott Malcolm is there is still one race to go. So.
Rob Barrable's taking the lead, by the way, and he's.
Where's Tyler?
Wait a minute.
Oh, he's in 2nd. Sorry, Tyler. I promise I'm not avoiding you.
Well, his car's showing up as like a silhouette as well, as if he's invisible on the graphics. So there you go. It's Barrable ahead of Vickery then, and Sean Gardner in 3rd. Sean Gardner won races against us in the Sunday Night League we did for a while, so he's got good pace when he wants. I mean, he's allowed to show it really in terms of his track position as Vickery goes wide. And Gardner says, thank you very much, I'm up into second position. These four have got an opportunity now because they've got a decent advantage at them, haven't they, over what you'd class as the main pack, such as you know, where Simon Field is really.
Indeed, yeah, and it's quite spread out a little bit at the front, more so than we saw in race 1, of course, all the quick guys at the front, side by side here between Bremer and Stabani, a real international battle here since Italy beat... Oh, Vickery, it's the wall!
Oh man, and that's it, the kick, oh no! Careful, Tyler, keep it out of the track, please. Well done. Good job there to keep that one off the racing surface. Oh, Stabani's hit, is that Paolo Bremer?
Oh, it's continuing. Wheels everywhere. The track's going to be
Oh,
blocked.
it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a
might
real
be safety
issue.
car.
Is it blocked?
Gone.
It's blocked. Safety car. Safety car is out. Yeah, completely blocked. And there's nothing anyone can do there. I don't know. Can we? I can't see anyone at the moment. There we go. It's going to be. It's not going to be great for Rob Barrable to see. I'll say that. But yeah, can we see the accident? Is there still people? Is there still? Are there still people there? I don't know.
Oh, there they hold on.
Oh yeah, there is. There was. Oh dear, car's having to come to a complete stop on him.
Yeah, I guess one thing with throwing a safety car is it doesn't automatically move the wreckage. I think they're still having to pick their way through it. That's Ross Balfour going sideways.
But it does mean that people aren't going to plough in there at full speed though if they know there's a yellow.
True.
In theory.
Right, we are 5 minutes in, which means we should get some laps in at the end. They're not going to be many though.
No, but it will give enough time for this to be, well, for everybody to be fully sorted out, and maybe for some drivers to come in and get some repairs. So Rob Barrable takes the lead then, and that's very good for him.
Well, it all started, didn't it, with Tim Stabani and Paolo Bremer all having their own battle at the end of the straight into Canada corner, and then it looked like Stabani got quarter panelled into the tyre barrier, and then yeah, they all came back across the track, and there was nowhere to go really for that pit. It's probably one of the most narrowest parts of the circuit, really.
Oh yeah, there's a big issue there. And finally, I've got some cars on track that I can see anyway. I don't know if that's. I think that sounds like a me problem. Rob Barrable leading the way. He's trying to keep some temperature in his tyres ahead of the restart, and also the brakes in this car, Adam, need to be warmed up as well every now and again. If you do like what you see here, of course, don't forget that you can subscribe to the iRacing Esports Network. It has past 40,000 subscribers. You can also subscribe to Apex over at Apex Racing TV as well, as we approach 10,000 subscribers. So please, if you can, give us a like on the video for iRacing. Give us a like for us as well, and you can follow all the social media and things as well.
Good for a double file restart. I think for everybody's safety, we all go single file. But there have been maximum entertainment. There have been a few big movers, very big movers, and they're both Ash Sutton and Peter Dempsey. 31 and 37 places gained out of all that. They've managed to pick their way through the wreckage the best, or maybe they just avoided it all completely. And they're up in 8th and 9th now, which is going to pose an interesting thing because these pace laps are going to be around 5 minutes each. So we will get restarted, I'd say, with about 4 minutes to go. So it should be about a 2-lap shootout, I reckon.
No, this is something that I wish we could do, is tell the safety car when to go in.
True.
Because everybody's lined up. Everybody's lined up and ready to go, really, apart from one guy. Not quite sure who that is. But literally, you've got pretty much everybody's ready for a restart now. And instead there'll be one more lap?
Yeah, one more lap.
So yeah, it is excruciating for the drivers. But it does mean, yeah, I hope so. But it does mean that it all gets cleared up and everybody has a fair shot at a restart. it's the kind of thing that happens at this circuit, isn't it, Adam? In terms of the concrete walls are very close to the circuit. There's not a great deal of runoff area on either side, and we have seen it in the past, haven't we? We've seen it, in fact, on this very straight many times.
The thing is with this circuit, there's loads of bridges.
Bit of a bad memory there.
Oh yeah, there was the back straight crash a couple of years ago, wasn't it? I think that happened twice.
What under the cheese bridge?
Yeah, and also someone with a bonnet. There's someone with a boot missing, and sparks pouring out of their car down the straight.
Who's that?
I think it might have been one of the Automet cars. But yeah, lights are out on the safety car. Phew. The thing is with this circuit, I don't think there's many tunnel turns around here, so hence why the bridges kind of edge onto the track, which makes it very narrow in some places, and hence why we saw a massive crash on the back straight a couple of years ago. And with the trees and whatnot, I'm not through the final sector at Canada Corner, it's meant that we've had a massive crash there. So
it's McNally, Adam, I think, with the severe damage, front and back, I think.
Plenty for the virtual spectators to take home as souvenirs, I reckon, after this.
Yeah, if this happened at Monza, they'd definitely all be nicked, wouldn't it?
So have a quick check at the YouTube chat, see how everyone's like. Action-packed second race.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Well, we're going to get hopefully more action-packed racing in a moment, because we will get a restart very, very soon, in just a couple of minutes. The pace lap's a bit better than what you thought, Adam. It's about 3.5 minutes that last lap, so not too bad.
Yeah, I was giving a doomsday scenario with that, so I reckon we should be restarting with 8 laps to go, which should give us a few decent laps.
The doomsday clock slightly moved away from midnight at this point, with the safety car coming in to clean up the action. But yeah, we've got a great racing prospect, because we've got Rob Barber. I was just about to mention, just before the crash as well, Kevin Carlisle, the American, in his home country, he races and he won the Rick Mattek Sports Car Series Championship in that car, and so he knows these circuits like the back of his hand, because they race at, of course, we used to cover the series, he's raced at places like Road America and a lot of the American tracks very regularly. So this kind of position where he's in 5th place with about what's going to be about 8 minutes to go, I think he's going to be a fantastic opportunity for Kevin Carlisle.
There's lots on the line for all these drivers. Rob Barrable, first win for him potentially, and first win for Turn 3. Sean Gardner, boosted, haven't won in quite a while, I don't think. Michael Avdoka likewise. So to Adam Hedgecock. Kevin Carlisle, I don't think has won, neither has Paolo Bremer. Rob Graham, he's always an unlikely victor, so I'm sure there'll be a few roosting for him. And then after that, you've got some of the quick guys arriving on the scene, likes of Sutton and Dempsey. There's Paolo Preto, the fiercely forward driver with a lot of damage at the back. One of many drivers that picked up a lot of damage to the front end of their car. And also, we need to worry about the restarts as well. This series in the past has had a few infamous restarts where the safety cars have come into So I hope Rob Barrable's paying attention to that, because he has been leaving a lot of distance between he and the safety car.
Well, our old colleague Dan Blake isn't here, so it's all right. We might get away with one. Sorry, Dan, we love you. But yeah, first safety car of the season, indeed. And hopefully the last one of the day. But Rob Barrable, then, let's have a look at him. He's coming through the final corner now. We're going to get a restart. He's managed to take a bit of an advantage on him. As, yeah, he's got a great restart. The rest of them absolutely asleep. Great restart by Barrable.
Yeah, he timed that perfectly. The safety car was still on the track, but it pulled out of the way, and it means that Rob Barrable has almost a second advantage as they cross the line, and automatically this means that Michael Avdoka is going to go straight through on Sean Gardner here into turn 1.
Yeah, Avdoka then looking for P2. Just get past the boosted Sim Sport car. There's another boosted Sim Sport car just behind them in Adam Hedgecock as well. Kevin Carlisle for SDK Gaming in 5th, and Paolo Bremer, the privateer, in 6th, the Italian. And he's got Ash Sutton for company. Sutton currently in 7th place. He's getting 32 places from where he started.
And if he was to win, he'd gain 38. Oh my
word! What's happening in there?
It's the very heavily damaged Adam McNally, and it's 3 wide behind.
Oh, is he holding other people up because he's got maybe no straight line speed? McNally. Holman through, Rushworth having a look at trying to go through. Sedgwick gets pushed very wide and loses 2 or 3 places. Barrable still leads them, but that gap is coming down. Evdoka is quick out there.
Purple sector by Michael Evdoka in this, the 3rd sector here. There's Jack Sedgwick, the winner of race 2, not having it all his own way here. He's gained 21 places, but that pales into insignificance by the amount of places that the likes of Sutton and Dempsey have gained in the early stages of this one.
As McFarlane getting very close and personal with Cedric. Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. I mean, we've raced in this series before, and we know that one mistake can put you 10 or 15 or even more places back. As Michael Evdoka then right in the slipstream of Rob Barrable, going down the back straight and into Canada Corner. Barrable takes the inside line to try and block off Michael Evdoka. The Texans Fitzstein motorsport car going around the outside. Barrable sliding the car as he holds the apex. Really nicely done, in fact, by Rob Barrable that time. And he maintains the lead. How long, who knows? There's Evdoka, Gardner, Hedgecock, Carlisle. They're there in this 5-car battle. Ash Sutton has got up in 6th place past Paulo Bremer. And he's now starting that chasing pack. And this is terrific action in the ARLTC as they start the first lap after the second lap after the restart. We've got just over 5 minutes to go. It's going to be fast. It's going to be furious, Adam. About 3 laps to go here at Road America. Yeah,
and poor Rob Barrable's got no help on that right-hand side, so I wonder how many places he might lose. He might just lose the 1 here into the first corner, and Evdoka swoops around the outside. He might still have his work cut out. No, he's clear. Fantastic.
Yeah, brilliant move by Michael Evdoka. We see him pull off several of those moves on a Monday night in the World GT Championship. He just got a bit wide in turn 2. That might invite the slipstream. It might invite an attack from behind. Kevin Carlisle then, he's trying to make work of the boosted cars. Going down the back straight is Carlisle. Hedgecock looking on Sean Gardner, giving a bit of a bump draft, a little bit of the bump draft. Into the 3rd corner. Oh, and this is exactly what he was trying to do, Adam. He was trying to set up Gardner. But Hedgecock and Gardner teammates, they know how to block the track off. It reminds me of that World GT Championship race that we watched, that you commentated on, where the CQR guys were just sat in the middle of the road.
And a track like this, there's not much
Was
you
it
can
this
do.
track? Was it with Carl Janssen?
I think it might have been, you know. It's definitely one of the more older tracks where there's not loads of acres of tarmac runoff area. Kevin Carlisle was comfortably ahead of Ash Sutton at the beginning of the lap, but when we cut to the rear view, I think we're going to see the CQR Pure Sims guys right with us. There he is. So he's had a pretty decent lap. Jason Cooper, the championship leader going into this race, put in the fastest lap of the race as well on that last lap. I know it was the first lap after the restart, but yeah, the reigning
there were laps before the restart though, and he was faster than all of them.
Oh, and commentators goes on Chris Sutton. Yeah, and he's lost a bit of time.
Yeah, he's lost about 3/4 of a second, sorry, to Kevin Carlisle. Carlisle's got a nice cutback through Canada Corner. He's looking for a run on Sean Gardner. But Gardner's going to put his car exactly where it needs to be. Going through Bill Mitchell Bend. And then into the final corner. Oh, he's nudging him almost, Kevin Carlisle, as he's coming through there, the American driver. So Evdoka leads the way from Barrable. It's only half a second. It's the lead for Evdoka.
2 laps to go then, over the line. Sean Gardner, is he going to be at the mercy of Kevin Carlisle this time? It looks like he might just have enough in hand. The gap's just under 0.2 of a second, and he should just about be okay going into the first corner. There you go. Kevin Carlisle's attached to the boot lid of him.
Well, Carl Janssen, you can give us the money later, mate, for that. Yeah, we're very, very happy to see you here. Was former World GT champion, I believe. As now going down the back straight, Carlisle looking to put a move on Gardner, but don't think he's quite close enough at this point.
Oh no,
that's a crash. That's quite
a again. Oh,
yeah, it's quite a big crash. It's Ben Palmer as well. And there was never a great deal left of McNally's car in the first place. Certainly not now. Not even anything that kind of Excite Energy will fix us. He turns it round and oh bang! And that's the 2 Craig setup shot. Oh, dear me. That was Palmer going completely into the side of it.
I think that might have been a hit and run job there by whoever the Craig setup shot car was that was on the inside.
I think it was well, it would be Thompson or Craig Williams, wouldn't it? So I'm quite sure who indeed it was.
Just purple sexes all over the place here in this second race with the time running out. Of course, when we get to London, we'll be starting the final lap here.
Jason Cooper is right with Paolo Bremer. He's going to try and take 7th place away from the Italian, who's done a good job here in this one. And he's only dropped 1 place from where he started, so nicely done. Sutton goes wide at the kink again and loses another couple of tenths. We're going to start the final lap. Nathan Davies out of the race, it looks like. The Welshman who won last week at Imola in race 3.
Cooper up the inside of Canada corner, and the next corner is a left-hander, but I think the line that Cooper is on may just work to his advantage. Will it? They're going to go side by side through it, and it looks like Cooper might just understeer a little bit wide, and Paolo Bremer is just fractionally ahead with Cooper later on the brakes into the final corner. This is going to allow Rob Graham to arrive on the scene. We could go 3 wide here potentially.
Graham's got a great run as his teammate ahead of him, so I wonder if he's just going to give him a little push. Try and get him past Paolo Bremer. Adam Hedgecock sets the fastest lap, 2:20.25.
Whoa!
Oh, Bremer sends it round the outside. He's sliding the car, and he loses out there, but it was brave defence. Tried his very best indeed, and Kevin Carlisle up to 4th position.
Yeah, it took him a while, but he's finally got past Sean Gardner. He put up a valiant defence, and it's not just over yet. As now it's the turn of Gardner to get the slipstream down the back straight.
Yeah, this is might be the last really good overtaking place on the circuit. And remember, everybody, there is one more race to come tonight. If you like what you see here, stick around. Oh, and Carlisle. Oh, and Gardner going round the outside. Lovely move by Sean Gardner to regain that position. Ash Sutton still lurks in the background then, currently P6. We're looking to take advantage of the Arithmetic Sports Car Champion, but Carlisle closes the door forcibly, and like I say, he is a champion. He knows how to go for a title, he knows how to win races, and he is wise to Ash Sutton, certainly, at the moment at least. Michael Evdoka, he's only got 1 sector to go. You can see he leads by 1 second over Rob Barrable. Barrable with a great effort today as well. Adam Hedgecock, P3, fastest man on the circuit in that last lap. Fastest lap of the race. I think it's probably his first fastest lap ever in the ARLTCR, but what a time to do it. Might pick up a little bit of the champagne. Bubbly!
It's a Canada corner then. And Michael Evdoka can smell it. He can almost grasp his hands on it as he comes into the final few corners.
Well, Chris Jericho is Canadian. Michael Evdoka is coming around the final corner. He certainly isn't a stupid idiot. He's coming around the last corner. He's going to drive to the line, and Michael Evdoka is going to take a brilliant win here at Road America. He really fought hard for that one, did Evdoka. He comes through, and he takes the win in the ARLTC race 2 of the day. Fantastic stuff. Rob Barrable second, Adam Hedgecock third. And, oh, Carlisle, was it? I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just Carlisle on the line. The timing tower's a bit confused, but on the timing screen, Carlisle gets it by 1/100th of a second.
There's James Holman, who finishes in 10th place in the end, gained 23 places to get there. Other big movers, Jack Sedgwick gained 30 places in the end. So a very good final 3 laps there from Sedgwick to get up to 11th place in the end. Josh Thompson 17th, and Wojciech Savinovic, we didn't see much of him, but he did gain 25 places to get a top 20 finish.
We haven't seen Wojciech Savinovic once tonight, apart from when he was off the track with the damaged car in race 1. So yeah, good to see him up there, and that will give him a great chance of getting a reverse grid pole, of course, there in 20th position. Other good performances, Conor Paris gained 24 places, Michael Blake 34 places, and yeah, some brilliant work out there. A lot of drivers eliminated though in that chaos at the start.
Yeah, there'll be a big retirement list. I think we'll have to go through there. I think it's almost becoming a rare thing now with a series like this that doesn't have a fast repair in it. So if you are done, you are done. But I guess
there might be a big list for Sam Fitzpatrick as well to go through in the steward's room.
Oh yeah, I think might need a bigger office. That's for sure. With all the complaints coming in,
we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Gonna need yeah, or whatever Sam does his work on. We've got a few cars, I think, still across the line here before we can bring you the results.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to work out who it is actually. It might be either Scott Malcolm or Rob Sutherland. Yeah, we started off the race with a jump start from Scott Malcolm, and I think we end the race waiting for him to cross the line. Here.
Poor Scott, man. I'll tell you, Scott, you know, he's made a big improvement over the last year or so. You just want to forget that one, I'm sure. But again, it sometimes happens. You're so excited to get there. You know, you're on the front row. You're in the top 5, something like that. You really, you know, want to make a good impression. Want to get off to the best possible start. And sometimes you just twitch. Sometimes you just have a little twitch. I mean, I nearly jumped to start when the red lights came on the other week. So I know exactly what's happened.
I think my most embarrassing moment when it came to a jump start was I was on dirt rally, I think, as Malcolm has now crossed the line. I pressed the pause button, then pressed off it, and then jumped the start from there by releasing the handbrake. Final results for you in what was a pretty intriguing and chaotic second race here at Road America. Don't forget, there's one more to come. First place victory goes to Michael Abdoka within a second. Highest Pro-Am driver as well, Rob Barrable for Turn 3 Motorsport. That first win gets ever nearer. Third place for Adam Hedgecock in the end. Boosted will be delighted to have a bit of the public.
Oh.
Kevin, unintentional boosted reference. Kevin Carlisle in 4th. Sean Gardner completing the top 5. Ash Sutton, I don't know if he picked up some damage or whatever, but he kept missing the king every time. Maybe it was just a sign of him pushing. Jason Cooper, 7th place. Rob Graham in 8th. For Automech Am, 9th for Paolo Bremer, the Italian, and James Holman completing the top 10. 8 seconds covering the top 10, so I think we might have just managed to do it closer than what we had in race 1. Jack Sedgwick, 11th, Jamie Rushworth in 12th. CQR colleague, CQR Sim Sports' Pete Newman in 13th. Then Ross McFarlane 14th, Michael Blake and Mark Woodhouse, 2 Team Mad teammates in 15th and 16th. James Thompson in 17th, David Von Breck, the Belgian. I think that's 2 18th place finishes for him, I think. 19th for Jake Blackhall and Wojciech Savidovic there in 20th. 21st for Daniel Naj, the Hungarian. Nicky Meredith in 22nd. Then Conor Paris in 23rd. Then it's Dave Baker, Craig Williams, Luke Cooper there in 26th. Tim Greven in 27th, and then Pete Harrod, 28th place. 200ths of a second between those guys. Mark Johnston, Matt Bunn, who was around at the 3rd corner on the opening lap. And Lee Berridge, Rob Jackson, John Roberts there in 33rd. Adam Hadfield managed to bring what was left of his car back across the line in 34th. Peter Dempsey, 35th. Then Paolo Bretto, who was starting towards the front until he was turned around by Scott Malcolm in the first corner. And it was Kip Stevens, Ross Balfoy, who was facing the wrong way in that mess at Canada. Rob Sutherland, 39th, Damian Harris in 40th, Ben Palmer, 41st place, 42nd for Adam McNally. In fact, it was McNally's car that was the wrong way around. Sorry, Adam Hadfield on that one. Then 1 minute behind Scott Malcolm. He did finish 1 lap down, but I doubt any reverse grid scenario will get him on the pole for race 3. Nathan Davis, no points for him, 2 laps down. Boosted Motorsports Simon Field also down the order. These are probably many of the drivers that were out at Canada Corner, really. Tim Stabani, he definitely was. Tyler Vickery was off at the kink the lap before. Mats Borger, the Norwegian, 48th. Mike Horder got crashed into by Jack Stiles on the opening lap. I don't think we expected what was to come after that. And Bram Claes at the back in 51st place.
There we go. Yeah, a lot of drivers coming to grief very early on, but fear not for them. There is still one more chance tonight to reclaim some glory, and we'll see exactly where they're going to start for race 3 right now, because Sam Kumar has the reverse grid wheel for the last time tonight.
Yes, the wheels on the screen, and we are spinning. But it has to be said that I was kind of surprised how well everyone behaved when the track was blocked, so that's something. And it is 40.
40. That should be Ben Palmer,
Oh.
I think.
On the timing, it is on my iRacing time. You know, the sim results. It's got Damien Harris down in 40th.
Okay. It is Harris. It is Harris. I don't know what's going on there. But it is Harris, and then it'll be Rob Sutherland in second, Roth Balfour in third, Kip Stevens in fourth, and Paolo Preto in fifth. So we'll see how they get on when we come back at the other side of the commercial break then here on the iRacing Esports Network. Welcome back to Road America for the final race of the day in the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath, and Sam Kumo for Apex Racing TV on the iRacing Esports Network. Well, Adam, the third race of the day is always the one where things can get a little bit frenetic. We saw that on Monday night. We saw it last week as well. What are we expecting from this one as we've got about 30 seconds?
I'm hoping that we don't have a safety car because we didn't get too many laps in. But yeah, Damien Harris is hoping he gets the best possible start and doesn't replicate that of the pole sitter for race 2, Scott Malcolm, and that's the last we'll bring up of it. For Scott's sake, I'm intrigued to see what all the fast guys are going to do because they'll be back towards the rear of the field again. So yeah, plenty to watch out for.
Top 5 are Damien Harris, Rob Sutherland, Ross Balfour, Kip Stevens, and Paolo Preto. Let's see what happens now. 5 red lights. And the Audi RS3's burst into life as the lights are off. The race is on. Stevens away well. He's already up into 3rd place. Sutherland got an awful start though. He's down to 7th, down to 8th. Harris still leads then into turn 1. Balfour alongside him. Dempsey trying to follow him through, and 2 cars off. That's a Craig setup shop car into the wall, and I think a turn 3 motorsport car. A couple of cars off onto the grass on the inside. I think one of them is John Roberts. He's going to do well to come back on without causing an incident. He's got real problems. He can barely turn around the corner, and that's a boosted car with real quite bad damage on it.
Yeah, Thompson went into the wall on the inside of the first corner. It was Thompson and Meredith that were off at the first corner.
Yeah, and I think we expected a couple of bits of chaos on the first corner. I remember the drivers were saying that this was the area they were worried about last week. Everybody through there really nice and carefully. I like that. Rob Jackson and Wojciech Savinovic going to battle. Savinovic manages to go around the outside. The reigning champion, 6 times champion on Thursday nights, going through into 15th place and chasing after Luke Cooper. Damien Harris continues to lead. It's just 0.2 of a second for him though, Adam.
Yeah, look who's in the pits though, just in front of him. Poor Scott Malcolm done for the day, it looks like, in race 2. He might be back on the track, but his chances of a good finish are gone. But here comes Ross Balfour. He has proven to be quick in the car that we used to drive in before the Audi, the Kia Optima, and he's looking pretty strong again here as we go through the kink. And Harris is sideways just a little bit. This might be Balfour's opportunity.
Yeah, someone else on the grass as well. It might have been Matthew Bunn, but here comes Ross Balfour, the Northern Irishman, down the inside to Canada corner, and he takes the lead ahead of Damien Harris. So Peter Dempsey in 3rd from the Republic of Ireland, and then it's Kip Stevens, the 2-time champion, in 4th position.
Looking here at Luke Cooper, who may have been off at Canada corner. He's got Wojciech Savinovic now alongside him, who's gained 7 places in the opening lap. Could nearly be 8 at the end of this lap.
Yeah, good work by Wojciech Savinovic. Also in problems, I think, on the first. Wow, look how many cars. There's quite a few cars that have had some issues on lap 1. Malcolm and Clace are definitely 2 of them. Savinovic then with the slipstream on Cooper. Well, he's actually getting the slipstream from Daniel Naj. So the Polish driver getting some help from the Hungarian. And around the outside, certainly Savinovic hungry for a win here. What's the red and blue mean beside the name, says Tyler Lambert? Well, Tyler, the red markers are for the Pro category and the blue markers are for the Pro-Am category. You can see there, and because it's a reverse grid, quite a lot of the AMs up in the top 15 places. In fact, 6 of them. Balfour still can't get rid of Harris. And Dempsey with a nice little cutback. Well, it was at least. He just seemed to lose a little bit of drive. I'm coming out of the tight left-hander, and that means that Harris lives to fight another day in 2nd place. It's going to be tough for Balfour to break away, Adam. We've seen in qualifying especially just exactly what effect the slipstream can have, and it is massive around here. Yeah,
and it's keeping the likes of drivers that maybe wouldn't be competing for a race fixture on a regular basis, the likes of Kip Stevens and whatnot. They're keeping them in contention, and I thought for a minute that Ross Balfour might just be able to pull away from all this, but no, Damien Harris is still right there with him, and a very hungry Peter Dempsey who could still get Turn 3 Motorsport's first win here. He's
Okay.
coming in third.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
no!
a wheel. There's a wheel bouncing down the circuit, and I think it may belong to
Ash Sutton. There he is.
David Van Broek. Oh, and there's a problem under the sausage bridge there.
Oh dear.
They've turned into toad in the hole.
There's Tim Stabani. And never mind sausages, they're giving each other a bit of chops there. Oh, that's terrible. But that's Tim Stabani.
It's waiting for the meat-based pods to appear, and here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's happening. You can see some wheels flying off and the like.
That's Rushworth with the purple mirrors.
Sutton, oh!
Blocked in by one of his own drivers.
I shouldn't laugh, but it's like well, it's two of his own drivers, isn't it? It's like they've committed a pit maneuver on him. It's like it's on police camera action or something. Well, the only action they'll be taking is tooling along at the back, I think, for the rest of this one. Dave Baker sets the fastest lap then, 2:20.2. Balfour cannot get away from Harris, but we're looking at the battle for 12th, and that is, oh my word, off goes Sutherland.
Oh. Never mind the bill for Ash Sutton, he'll be shown a bill for the amount of damage done to his cars.
Alex Nellis says CQR advertising vacancies tomorrow then.
Wow.
Yeah, potentially. Conor Paris, we see him in 17th place. The American, and he is the highest standing American in this race. Just looking down the order, Michael Evdocker, who won the race 2, he's currently up to 19th place. He started in 40th. So, excuse me, a terrific run by Evdocker in the first couple of laps.
Yeah,
Just a bit of a refresher actually on what Adam said earlier on in the broadcast. Looking at the timing, we've got a bit of a glitch with our timer at the top. It's not 35 minutes out of 20 minutes. It's lap 3 and 6 minutes gone, but for some reason we've got a small glitch. Oh, there we go. And as if by magic, Sam Kumo just gets rid of the problem. Well done. Right. There we go, Adam. If only it was that easy.
Mark Johnston and Adam Hadfield, both two cars that got past Paolo Preto at the left-hander at the end of the back straight there. So Johnston up to 7th place, and the top, and they could start pursuing after the top 3. But Kip Stevens is the man that's in the way of a fight for 3rd, and at the moment Ross Balfour's just half a second ahead of Damien Harris. But here is Hadfield, Automech in 3rd and 5th, and it's the Mark Johnston sandwich here in 4th place. There is the green car. It's big and it's green, and it's stopping Adam Hadfield from getting by. This could be an interesting scrap going on to the front straight.
Yes, indeed. I approve of the colour choice by Mark Johnston, but let's see if it can keep Adam Hadfield behind, or will he be able? He's got a great run, he really does, Hadfield, but I don't think he's going to quite be able to get alongside. Good lap by Balfour. Fastest one of the race so far, 2:19.490. Daniel Naj then sets the fastest lap, down 11th place, 2:19.4.
There is the Hungarian. 9 places gained for him in this final race.
Yeah, fastest man on the circuit at the moment. Great stuff.
Update for you on the likes of the drivers at the front in race 1 and race 2. Thompson, after that off in the first corner, is up to 32nd. Rob Barrable in 24th. Wojciech Svidovich 22nd after all. Now there is Tomo. He's in a bit of a scrap here. He's got Mads Borger and he's got Sean Gardner with him as well, and he's just gone past the Norwegian.
Do we know, was it Craig Williams that was off in turn 1 with Meredith then, was it?
Too sure actually. I wonder if it might have been.
It was a Craig setup shop car that I saw going off. You can see just behind Thompson, Mats Borger Anderson defending hard from Kevin Carlisle and Michael Blake. Blake going around the outside, trying to, and Mats stays ahead. Continues on his way in 32nd place. How would you fancy your chances in this field this season, Adam? I think this feels stronger than ever, and I feel like we might end up propping it up to some extent.
I think I now know how Alex feels, and we were trying to get him in the car.
That's Thompson saying sayonara to Sean Gardner.
Gardner going for a bit of gardening on the inside grass there.
Pretty much shifted off the racing surface. Oh, something happened to Paolo Preto.
He's still in 7th, but
Oh no, he's all right. It was just the timing string. It's all right.
He's got Tim Greven for company here, going through Thunder Valley and a little bit wide down the exit, and he might be at a disadvantage here going into the final corner because he will be on a tighter line here.
Yeah, and pulling out from the slipstream is Adam Hadfield. He's trying to get past Mark Johnston.
Yeah, so they've managed to get by Kip Stevens now. Fastest lap of the race again by Ross Balfour.
His teammate Mark Johnston's buddy Nathan Davis only lasted, didn't last very long at all in this one. Complete a lap for the man who won last week. Dave Baker, a new fastest lap of the race. We've barely said his name at all tonight. He's in 9th position. And Wojciech Zvidovic has lost a position from where he started. Johnston getting all sorts of out of the off the racing line that time.
And now it's 2 by 2 down the back straight.
I was looking away. Was he put there?
It was door-to-door contact really with one of the ultimate cars, I think.
Look at this, 2 pairs of bump drafting. It's like the 2012 Daytona 500. Let's see if this can be all sorted out at the bottom of the hill. One of the ultimate cars. Oh, there goes Greven. And he tries to do a J-turn. Oh, bang!
That's Baker,
Well,
as you mentioned him. Oh no. Reverse. Oh, careful, guys.
Careful of the bloody rejoins. Sort yourselves out, boys.
I don't think it's their fault with the altitude or the elevation, I should say. As they get going again, Greven down to 32nd place now. Oh dear.
No, but it is very important with this many cars on the track that you are very careful with the rejoins. It can cause absolute mighty ones like we saw in race 2.
Well, I would like to be the drivers behind them, but I've seen cars stopped ahead and you're like, really? And then you go over the top of the hill
then
and
they move.
see one of
Yeah.
Oh,
Baker's car's broken, I think.
Yeah, hit with the concrete walls don't really do these things much good. And yeah, he's on his way back into the pits, I think.
It was indeed a dodgy J-turn there by Greven.
Now here is
Really did play, but
yeah.
Canada corner. It's the suspects from the previous race.
And that is Jack Sedgwick in a fight with Luke Cooper, who was the Pro-Am Championship leader going into this race meeting. Of course, things might have changed a bit since then.
Oh, Preto's going to get past Johnston here. Sorry, that's Daniel Nars getting past Preto, sorry.
I must say, credit to Damien Harris, he's setting identical lap times, if not better, than Ross Balfour. And here is a replay of how Daniel Nars got it done through the final corner. Is he going to run a little bit wide for Preto? Yes, he does.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt you too badly in terms of, you're not really in any danger of spinning off or anything like that, but you do lose so much momentum, especially on the straight, which is severely uphill, as you can see. It's a circuit where, Adam, when we used to cover the IMSA series on this channel, many people ran out of fuel on the last lap going up that hill.
It's probably the worst circuit if you are to run out of fuel, because everything's flat for most of the final sector, apart from that massive hill between the final corner and the finish line. So.
Yeah, I can't really think of another one that's really shocking for.
Maybe Alton Park, maybe. The run up.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one a few times. Oh,
a little 2 wheels into the dirt there for Damien Harris, who was quicker than Ross Balfour on the last lap, only by 0.02 of a second. And Peter Dempsey's still in third too here with 6.5 minutes to go now.
This one's still up for grabs. It really is. Balfour hasn't been able to stretch his legs too much. Harris just set the fastest lap of the race. Dempsey's hanging around really, really well indeed. He may have the pace on these two, but it's tough to tell. Ross Balfour, very, very experienced on this Thursday night series. He's never really done that many full seasons. Johnston up the inside of Stevens into Canada corner. So that puts Kip down to 6th place, but it's been a solid race for Kip. One of his best of the season, I think.
Yeah, he has. In recent weeks, he may have been at the front of a reverse grid race, but after that, things hadn't gone too well. Let's just hope he can stay on the island for another 5 minutes or so. As all that's up the inside. That's
Wow. Van Broek, is it?
yeah,
No.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Van Broek ahead of Barrable. Ahead of Josh Thompson. Thompson, where's he going? Coming out of Bill Mitchell Bend. I thought he was going to try something there, Adam. It was a bit dicey.
I think he's going to try something now. Up the hill we go. There's the climb we were just telling you about, and this is the fight for 25th and 26th. Thompson,
It's very, very steep.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to walk up there, you'd be in serious trouble.
It's probably maybe not as steep as the corkscrew, but goodness me, it doesn't half look it.
Climbs very quickly, indeed. That's why drivers struggle with the mistake at the end. I can't even give the words out because I've just seen Thompson, and we were right up in his grill there, ladies and gentlemen. He's right behind Van Broek.
Face full of the front assembly of the Audi right there.
Side by side behind them as well. I think it's Field. Field and Carlisle. I think it was. There we go. Yeah, Simon Field and Kevin Carlisle were side by side. Field is still ahead. And has
Oh, they're back at it.
fastest lap by Jack Sedgwick, I think.
Yeah, Jack Sedgwick down in 8th place, 22 places. Oh no, he's not in 8th place, sorry, that's my time screen playing tricks on me. Is on the inside there goes Adam Hedgecock on Mads Borger, who, whenever we've been on him today, has unfortunately been losing positions, but he's fighting back now through under the sausage bridge. And who's this arriving on the scene? It's the other Craig setup shot car there of Tim Greven, who's trying to force the boosted car a little bit wide, and he does go off there for a little bit. So too does Mads Borger there.
Yeah, Hedge got forced wide, and up the inside goes Michael Blake. Blake's got a decent run into Canada corner.
Brakes, there goes Blake, and there we go. There goes the Team Mad car through into what 29th place now. The Pro-Am driver on the move in the closing stage for this one.
It's getting close between Stevens and Daniel Naj. Sorry, Johnston and well, yeah, that's them there.
Fastest lap of the race, Jack Sedgwick again. He's in 11th place. You can see the purple
yeah, him and Ross McFarlane, Adam, they're charging towards the top 8.
And they're going to have to get by these guys first. The battling Bretto and Bunn here. Taking quite defensive lines into the right-hander, probably when they didn't need to. And this is going to allow Ross McFarlane to get right onto the back of them, down the back straight. Bretto's already moved once. So this should be the inside line for McFarlane, and Jack Sedgwick might just get towed along with him.
They do say you only move twice, but not in iRacing.
Also say never go back. On the inside goes Ross McFarlane, and that should be a textbook move, indeed it is, and Sedgwick will surely benefit from that too under the Corvette bridge.
Only important management types like me can make that move. And there he goes up the inside by Jack Sedgwick on Paolo Preto. And he's Harrod having a look. Good onboard shots of these Audis. I always enjoy, onboard with touring car racing. I remember Murray Walker was one of the first people, and the people who worked on, Steve Ryder and the people who worked on BBC when they did the touring cars were some of the first to put onboard cameras in the cars on them and really bring us that close to the action inside the saloon cars. That is.
Yeah, that shot where you had the camera position. It's quite similar to this one, where you can see the driver at it as well, plus the whole windscreen.
The driver's name on the dashboard. That's pretty cool. Incidentally, in the one of the newer cars on iRacing, I think it might be the new Indy car. You do have that in the cockpit cam. You just see the name on the screen.
That's
really cool.
Right then, final lap, I believe, around here.
And who's going to have their name in lights? Oh my goodness me! No, that's not the way. That is not the way. That's right up against the concrete wall.
And who's that now?
Yeah.
That's Matt Bunn. That's Matt Bunn arriving on the scene. He's on the outside. He's later on the brakes. Bunn might just try and swing it around the outside here. Oh, it didn't just work out. And now here comes Jack Sedgwick up the. He's going to be on the outside for the hard braking zone at the end of this straight.
Yeah, this should be the final lap. It will be the final lap. Oh, there's John Roberts in the gravel. And also in the gravel is Nicky Meredith. So that's the second time for Meredith in this one. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. It's getting... Ross Balfour has increased the lead to about a second. Still fairly close. Look at this. Look at Sedgwick. Oh, that's threading the needle. That's brilliant. Outstanding stuff by Sedgwick. In and out. And McFarlane trying to hold the outside line. I think he's going to have to concede this, Adam, and that's amazing. Very good.
Brilliant. Might be up there with move of the night, I think, around this circuit. Is Ross McFarlane going to fight back up the inside? You can tell he brakes late, but he just wasn't close enough to get by Sedgwick. Meanwhile...
Going to get up pretty early in the day to do that.
Oh, definitely. So you've got Peter Dempsey, he's in third. And then Damien Harris in second, just 0.2 of a second apart. I think the victory might just be beyond them. Ross Balfour's nearly a second clear of Harris now.
There is Balfour, and there is the battle for second. Balfour coming through Canada corner, and it's been a quiet night for Ross Balfour, but he's shown in this last race exactly the pace and the racecraft that he's got. The man from Northern Ireland is going to come through the final corner, drive up the hill, and he's going to take the win in round 3 of the day here in the ARLTCR at Road America. Brilliant stuff by him. Harris is going to get second place. I think he'll be very happy with that indeed, Damien Harris. And Peter Dempsey gets third place too. Excellent stuff from Dempsey. And then Hadfield, I think, just is going to take this one. Well, he takes that quite well, but it's Johnston and Stevens very close over the line. And I think had a Mike Johnston just by a few hundreds.
I think so, yeah. Johnston, highest AM. Once again, Jake Blackmore involved in a photo finish, and here's another one potentially, Berridge and Grevin.
Yeah, Grevin's had, shall we say, a lively race. Trying to get one done on Lee Berridge at the very end. He's not quite going to get there, but Lee Berridge 23rd. Adam Hedgecock, Simon Field, Rob Barrable coming across. Good positions gained from them. Ash Sutton finishes the race down in 29th place after the altercations with his teammates almost at the down at the Sausage Bridge. And I think everyone has indeed crossed the line, but that was a fun meeting, Adam. It's always great when we come to Road America. It's a classic circuit.
Yeah, we said at the beginning of the show our love for it, and I think the drivers have truly delivered here with 3 cracking races. We saw something similar last week. That's quite a modern circuit compared to this one. And here we've had 3 different winners. Ross Balfour in race 3 doing the honours there, and he'll be pretty delighted with that. I think that might just be his first win of the season too. A driver who's been showing his ability, at least in the Kia, before switching over to the Aussie for this season, and I think that's his first win of the season. Damien Harris here too. A solid podium for him, and Peter Dempsey. Turnberry Motorsports, they still might not have got that win yet, but they've got a few podiums today in the races here, and Peter Dempsey back up at the front again. And Automech just continue, don't they? Adam Hadfield in 4th in this one. Luke Cooper 13th place. That might just help him in terms of the Pro-Am Championship. Not too sure where Jason Cooper finished in this one. I think he might have. I finished in 38th. I think that's where he finished anyway. So not the best of race 3s for him, but I wonder what that'll do to his championship.
Well, they're definitely turn 3 certainly getting closer to the win. They always seem to have somebody available to challenge. Haven't quite got it done completely yet, but they will. It's only a matter of time.
Here's the race finishing order then for the final race tonight. Ross Balfour wins 1.27 seconds ahead of Damien Harris, and Peter Dempsey completing the podium. Adam Hadfield 4th for Automech, 5th just Mark Johnston ahead of Kip Stevens. Looks like those two had a drag race to the line. Daniel Nage in 7th. That might be up there with one of the Hungarians' best finishes, I think. Jack Sedgwick in 8th. 9th for Ross McFarlane. And 10th for Pete Harrod. 11th place for Jake Blackhall, one of the Aussies' better nights, I think. Matt Bunn in 12th. 13th for Luke Cooper. Paolo Preto held on as long as he could, really, but finished in 14th at the end. Wojciech Savidovic in 15th. The reigning champion. Conor Paris 16th. Then Michael Evdoka. James Holman in 18th place. And in the top 20 rounded out by Josh Thompson and Rob Sutherland, who was at the front for race 3 but got a horrific start away from the lights. 21st for David Van Broek. Matt Sporger in 22nd, Lee Berridge 23rd, then Tim Grevin in the Craig Setup Shop car there in 24th. Michael Blake, then Adam Hedgecock, Rob Barrable, followed home by his compatriot Simon Field in 28th place. 29th for, I believe, Ash Sutton. Yeah, there he is. And Craig Williams in 30th. Jack Stiles 31st. Kevin Carlisle in 32nd. Then Tim Stabani getting a finish here in race 3. Mike Corder, the Welshman, in 34th. Paolo Bremer, the Italian, 35th. John Roberts and Sean Gardner boosted stablemates there in 36th and 37th. Then Jason Cooper, the championship leader going into this race meeting, in 38th. And in the top 40 rounded up by Nicky Meredith and Nathan Davis. Pete Newman, 41st. Then Jamie Rushworth, who was off with his CQR Pure Sims colleague Ash Sutton at the Sausage Bridge. Then Mark Woodhouse, Rob Graham, David Baker there, 1 lap down, trying to reverse it under the Corvette Bridge there. Adam McNally, 7 laps down, out quite early on. Rob Jackson also out. Ben Palmer not having the best race meeting today. He was usually quite consistent before this one. Bram Clace out. Scott Malcolm again out. Race 2 and race 3, definitely not one to remember. And Tyler Vickery, after his crash in race 2, follows it up with a non-finish here in race 3.
All right, well, yeah, great stuff there. Great meeting. And we'll see if we've got any drivers to actually have a chat with out there. And I think I'll try and grab hold of Michael Evdoka. Michael, can you hear us?
I can indeed. Hello.
Hello. Well done on your race winning race 2. Always a great track to get a win on. I always think it's very, very challenging. So if you can win here, you've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, exactly. I was to be honest, my evening was going a bit shocking up until that point. I had a good reverse, started P17, I believe, and then got a wicked first lap, got into the top 5. Obviously, the safety car came out, and from that point, I just knew I had to get past the guys in front and just keep the lead as such. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with that. First win in ARLTC for Fitzdie and myself. So yeah, very pleased.
Yeah. Well, always great to get the first win. It's something that over the years gets harder and harder, I think, with this series and how good everybody is. But yeah, also a little bit of chaos too. Obviously, the safety car came out, and you mustn't have been too happy about that. But we just focused on trying to stay calm and trying to keep everything clean.
Yeah, I mean, I to be honest, I don't actually know what happened with why the safety car came out.
Big blockage.
Oh, okay. I mean, I heard there was something big went on, but yeah, I just sort of, like you say, sort of stuck.
It was like a whale stuck in a sewage pipe. It was that badly blocked.
Oh, nice. No, but I'm sure I'll see it on the broadcast. I'll have a look later. But yeah, I was just sort of in the winning vibe. I knew it was there for the taking, so I was just straight faced and going for that.
Well, don't know if Adam can help me out and tell me where we are next week.
Oh, throwing it on me now. I'll quickly find out.
I thought it's usually, but the season's gone pretty well for you so far. Let's have a look at the race 3. I didn't see where you finished in race 3.
Had a bit of a shocking season, to be honest, but the car's new to me, so I'm still sort of learning how to race side by side with guys. It's sort of a learning curve. We're sort of branching into it for the first time, and hopefully next season we'll be able to push for something a bit more up the table as such.
Well, take us through that final race as well. You gained 23 places. just a case of picking people off when you could, or were you in an aggressive mindset, or what?
It was sort of just like you say, picking people off as and when I could. I had another good start. Seem to have sort of got that under wraps now, so I'm able to gain a few off the start because it's quite tricky not wheel spinning the car and losing loads of places.
Yeah.
But after that, I sort of was just picking people off and then trying to avoid the wrecks going on because I know a few people got caught up, and luckily I didn't. I had a bit of damage, just slowed me down the straights, but other than that, I did quite well. It's probably my best evening so far, to be honest.
Well, we thought you did a great job out there. If you give a shout out to your sponsors, your friends, family, whoever.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank FixDie, Ross and Jack, driving, doing all the best we can with practice and setting the car up. TechSense, Renbell, Demon Tweaks, Tricks, and all the other sponsors that help us out. And yeah, looking forward to next week. And you guys,
Perfect.
thank you very much.
Ah.
You do a fantastic job on the broadcast.
That's very much where we enjoyed this one. Adam, did you find out where we are next week?
Yeah, we're at Brands next week.
Go on, Michael. What would do you like Brands Hatch? Is it one that you're looking forward to?
Oh, if it's the GP circuit, then
It
happy
is,
day.
yeah.
Oh, then it's all right. But the Indy circuit, it's just a bit too short for my life.
A bit mental with nearly 60 cars as well. Michael, thank you for joining us, mate, and we'll see you hopefully in the next one.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Cheers, buddy. Well, we do.
But
Do not
that's
have-
good crack, you know.
We do now have Peter Dempsey. And he's with Adam Bath.
Sorry, Peter, for grabbing you unawares there.
You're alright.
Well, yeah, great, thanks. A good final race for you, another podium. You and the team are still you're edging closer to that victory. I'm sure it's going to come sooner or later.
Yeah, it's we got the victory there at Imola, so at least we got that one out of the way. But this weekend was good. This race was good because we had a couple of podiums with Rob Barble there, race 2, and me in race 3, and James Holman was very lucky in race 1. He got involved with, I think, Ben Palmer, and he had really good pace there. So getting stronger, you know, understanding the racing and the regulations, and trying to race a bit cleaner.
I guess that's one thing. You start maybe towards the rear in race 1, or you finish near the rear in race 1, and then you still have the opportunity to get up and get a podium in one of the later races.
Absolutely, yeah. I had a bit of a struggle there in race 1 and 2 with a 45th and a 35th, so it was a bit of redemption there in race 3. Just really try to stay out of trouble, and that's why I raced as clean as I could up front. Tried to hang on to Ross and Damien and just bring home some points.
What you and Ash Sutton were both able to gain quite a lot of places in the big track blockage in race 2. Did you see much of it?
No, I don't know what happened, but I was messing around with my graphic settings, and the whole race there in race 2, I could only see 10 cars ahead of me. So I had no idea what was going on. I came around, there's obviously 20 or 30 cars there. I just kind of got lucky. For some reason, the car just drove through it all, and I went from 45th to 9th. But then I had so much damage from it, I was a dog in a straight line, so I ended up dropping back to, I think, 32nd or something there in race 2 with so the reverse grid definitely helped me out there for race 3.
A familiar track next week potentially for yourself, Brands Hatch GP. So going back to the UK. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, Road America here is more or less my home track in the US. It's only about 2 hours up the road. So I didn't do much testing for today's race, which probably hurt me. But definitely looking forward to Brands GP. I actually did a race there in another league, I think in the TCR car a few races ago, so that should hopefully help us out.
Yeah, some useful tips I bet picks up from that one. I think I might have been commentating on that one. But before we let you go, Peter, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Just all the lads really running the show on the stream and stuff at Apex Racing. Really appreciate all the work and effort that goes into it. So looking forward to moving forward with the leagues, and thanks obviously to all the teammates and the guys that put all the skins together for us. Very much appreciated.
Great, well done on the podium today. It almost could have been second, but I'm sure you will definitely have taken that after the earlier finishes, and thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us today.
No bother, lads, thanks.
Well, Peter Dempsey there, and turn 3, we mentioned they were Well, we Imola must have just bypassed us completely, Adam.
I promise you they don't wipe our memories after this thing. But
Yeah, the old Men in Black little daft thing there. Ross Balfour joins in the commentary box. Ross, can you hear us first of all, mate?
I can indeed. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good. Well, it's been quite a while since we've had you in the commentary box, mate. It's good to see you. Congratulations on race 3 as well, because that looked like it was a really, really good, strong battle with Harris and Dempsey.
Yeah, I think it's been probably about 2 years since I've been here. I've clearly not been good enough to deserve my spot in the commentary booth. So thanks for having me back. Yeah, no, my first 2 races were pretty disastrous. Spent most of it backwards from various shunts, etc. I think I was caught up, probably worst affected in that big pile-up in the second race. I was backwards for about a minute and let everyone by me. But yeah, third race was really fun, and I didn't do much practice for tonight, so it was extremely nerve-wracking not knowing 100% where to brake when you have 2 guys right behind you. So
Hey, but it all worked out in the end. No, I think actually the last time I may have spoken to you, we both might have been recovering from hangovers in Germany. I think at some point, because that usually happens. We usually bump into each other at some point over that weekend. But yeah, Road America. Yeah, exactly. Road America is it's a terrific track though, and Peter Dempsey says it's one of his local circuits. So you must feel good though to come back with not a great deal of practice and and be so far in front, far towards the front. Sorry, I'll get my words out in the end.
yeah, it's always weird in this series. The less practice I do, the better I seem to do. I thought I was pretty quick in Imola last week, but just couldn't get a good run together at all of results. And then tonight I didn't really have the pace, but it's all about the luck of the draw with reverse grid as well. So I'm happy enough to get a win. I just need to get the podium credits for the showdown.
Well, Imola's a funny one as well because it's not one that you can really turn up to and be fast instantly, is it? But it's a bit of a difficult one.
Yeah.
What would you say, like, in terms of the Audi compared with the Kia? What would you say the big difference is in terms of the way you have to drive the car?
Big difference is I enjoy driving it. The Kia, I like the racing. The Audi, I actually enjoy driving even when the racing isn't close. The racing's really good as well, which helps. I think for me as well, I joined the Kia series about 3 or 4 years in, so I was always kind of playing catch up. But here, it's kind of been a level playing field from the start, so being able to kind of go in and be competitive straight away, which has been helpful. So it's going to be tough catching guys like Jack and Ashley in terms of raw pace, but I think I'm slowly getting there week by week.
Well, next week we go to Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit, and so a lot of the drivers looking forward to that one. Would you count yourself among them?
No, I absolutely hate the track. Thankfully, it's not the Indy circuit, but nah, I'm not really a big fan of Brands Hatch. I think the tracks later on in the season I really like, so hopefully showdown time when it comes, I enjoy those tracks a lot more. So we'll see how it goes. It's just going to be about survival in Brands Hatch again as usual, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, there you go. It always helps to have good tracks at the end of the season. That's how Lewis Hamilton seems to do it anyway. If you'd like to give a shout out to your teams, your sponsors, your friends, your family, whoever's watching.
Yes, shout out to Core Sim Racing as always, and Z1 Dashboards as well for all the help. And it's just in general, shout out to all the guys I'm racing against this season. I think the racing at times has been sketchy, but there's been some really, really good racing. At the same time, I think the guys who are clean know who they are, and I'm trying my best to be clean. I'm gonna make the plunge to triple screens in the next couple of weeks finally. So hopefully I'll be involved in the next few incidents going forward. So cheers as well to you guys as well for the comms. I really enjoyed watching it back after.
All right, well, yeah, I'm sure you'll enjoy that one. Well, it's good to see you, mate. It's good to speak to you, and we will catch you next week, hopefully.
Yes. Speak to some boys. Have a good one. All the best.
See you later.
you too.
And I think Adam has found Adam.
Hello, Adam.
Hi, hello.
Well, an interesting night for Boosted. Maybe not for yourself, but you were able to gain, I believe, 12 places in that final race. Talk us through the 3 races from your perspective.
It was up and down, really. Practice was great. I had a whale of a time in practice. Race 1, not so great. I got got dumped out on kind of the corner on lap 1, dropped
Oh.
right the way to the back of the field because of it, and was kind of just trying to pick up the pieces from there on in. Second race, both Sean and I were starting right up at the sharp end, and we just kind of hunkered down, really, just got into a bit of a groove, and then the safety car came out. We were scamping away at the time, which was brilliant, but then the safety car came out and kind of closed the bunch a bit, and from there on it was just trying to get maximum points as we could. And I was just saying to Michael Evdoka there, I think one more lap and I might have been able to get a P2, but P3 for me in that race, P5 for Sean, some massive points for the SimSport team. And then race 3, back to how it's been for me recently. Got sideswiped by someone else's accident, and it meant I had no top speed. So even though I was mega through the corners, I got done left, right, and centre on the straight. So not much fun. But I shouldn't complain, because there were others that had a even worse night, had a real miserable night. So I'll take what I can.
Boosted are doing well in the Pro-Am Championship so far. There isn't too many races left until the showdown. I think that including next week, there's only 4 race meetings left. So are you exceeding expectations for what you've achieved so far this season?
No, I mean you know Boosted pretty well. We're good amateurs. That's what we do. So we always, whenever we enter these leagues, we always enter them with the goal of winning the Pro-Am Championships, whether it be the drivers, whether it be the teams. But yeah, both teams have had a cracking start so far. I think before tonight we were about 97 points clear of CQR. I don't know the end of their team then, but the CQR AM team, we're about 97 points clear of them. So yeah, it's going well. Hopefully we can continue it, and hopefully within the Boosted stable we can take both top spots for the teams at the end of the season.
Well, it was a narrow track today at Road America. I think it might just be more of the same next week at Brands Hatch. How do you prefer that track to here at Road America? It's probably going to be just as close racing there next week.
I prefer Road America, I have to be honest. But I think that the problems that we have at these tracks is that there's a lot of new guys who don't totally understand the overlap rule yet. So we've seen it a few times tonight where a move will be made on the inside, which is great, but the car on the outside is still there, but they'll be run off the road. The guy on the inside will still take the racing line and just expect the other guy to concede. Now, fortunately, we've got some wise heads in the team, and we've seen a few of these, and we've managed to avoid it. But I've seen that others haven't been able to avoid it. And at Brands, where it's even tighter than this, with some quite fast kind of momentum-based corners, I can see there being a few problems. I hate to say it, but there could be a few problems.
Yeah, I wonder if we might have to get the safety car button out again next week. Well, it's been a pleasure again, as always. Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Yes, same as last time. I don't usually come 2 weeks in a row, but I thought P2 in race 2. I'll make a concerted effort to come for another chat.
Hey.
Same as last time though. Mind.org.uk. We're running the logos on the car to show support for the work that they do with mental health and well-being, particularly in times like we're going through now. It's rough out there. It's rough for everybody. Don't close yourself off. Do talk to people, even if you have to ring someone up. It doesn't matter. Just talk to people. Keep yourself in a good state of mental health. The Boosted boys, mixed bag for us tonight, but it's always a pleasure to race with them. I can't imagine racing with anyone better around me than those guys. They're absolutely brilliant. To you guys, I hear that there was quite a humorous moment in the safety car period where you was on board with John, just watching the carnage try and resolve itself for a while. So good call on that tonight. Well done for that one. And yeah, that's about it. No sponsors. We still need to find sponsors. Where's Josh? He was supposed to be giving me one.
Go and grab him. I'm sure
He was supposed to
got
be lending me a
plenty,
sponsor,
hasn't
wasn't he?
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
plenty. I did see you've been doing a lot more commentary recently as well, and
Yeah.
there's one particular F3 race at Barcelona which looked like it was an absolute, shall we say, hurricane of terribleness.
Well,
But it looked quite interesting, shall we say?
It was a baptism of fire. That was my first time that I actually led the comms.
Oh, really?
So it was it was a baptism of fire, but we got through it. We it was positive
I didn't.
feedback.
By the
plenty
way,
of stuff.
I will just clarify to the viewers at home. I don't mean your commentary. I mean the driving. The driving wasn't.
Oh
good.
yeah, the driver was.
The commentary was fine. The driving, it was the driving.
There was some interesting drivers out there for sure, but no, lots to learn from us in the commentary, like doing it, because that's the first time, like I said, that's the first time I was leading it, so there was a few technical things we had to sort out, and the drivers, that was something. Hopefully they've learned from last week, and of course so. If you do want to see whether they've learned from it and they can do better, it's on tomorrow night from 7:45 GMT here on Apex Racing TV.
I'll be watching because I do think that'll be great. Do we know where it is? Do we know which circuit?
Sure. I'm feverishly looking at the Discord.
That's on.
It's all right. This is about as prepared as we get, so don't worry.
Where is it? I can't even see. It's somewhere. It's going to be great.
Have you been enjoying the commentary though? That's the question.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely been loving it. I really enjoy doing the 2-hour special events. You know, the ARL ones that we run before the big events. I do enjoy those. I find they're a lot more relaxed and chilled out. You can really kind of dig down into some of the drivers because you got the time to do it. You know.
Yeah, and have a little bit of off-topic stuff as well. We always enjoy that. Me and Adam have got enough off-topic stuff probably to last about 30 years. So we
were reminiscing about World League Sim Racing, and
oh wow, yeah.
Because John was at the North Schleifer, so I said that he was King of the Ring, and Sam wasn't sure he'd heard of it, so we had a whole story time with that about King of the Ring and King of the
we used to
Hill
commentate on it.
You did,
yeah. I did at least. Was that the one that Dennis Melcher won the championship?
Yes. In
one
fact,
that we keep saying, we promise you Dennis is a good driver. It's just that damn Ford.
Yeah, and I think this will really jog your memory. Remember the was it race 2 at Watkins Glen? The Kias were out in front, but you didn't want to watch them because the Jettas were battling from flag to flag. And I think you said at the time it was probably the best race you'd seen on iRacing.
Oh, there were some races in that league with the strategy and everything. It was top. And I did a race in the following season when the Mustang came, and I actually won a race in that series in the Mustang.
Did, yeah.
So there you go. Even if there you go. That doesn't say much for everyone else, though, does it? But
well, I mean, to be fair, you're not exactly slow.
Well, if I can keep it pointing in the right direction, it's been known to happen. Adam, thank you very much for joining us, mate. It's always a pleasure, and we will catch you hopefully at Brands Hatch.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you, gents. Have a wonderful evening.
Nice one. Same to you. I do want to echo Adam as well about mental health. It's very important at this time, this situation at this time. And we at Apex Racing TV completely. Well, we hope we can help you guys enjoy the quarantined life a little bit better. Adam, any last thoughts from Road America before we leave it there?
Not much really. Yeah, a great race meeting for Boosted. 3 very different races really. We had completely different guys at the front, which was quite different to Imola last week, where we had the guys fighting their way through. So I wonder which of those 2 we might see at Brands Hatch next week. But either way, we're getting closer and closer to the beginning of the showdown. Once we're done at Brands Hatch this time next week, we will only have round 7, 8, 9 and 10 left before we go into the showdown. That's at the Nürburgring, Sonoma, Lime Rocken and the Glen. So the races, they're moving pretty quickly, and sooner or later we're going to be narrowing the driver standings down for the final 4 rounds. Yeah,
indeed, it's happening quickly this time. These short seasons, we're not used to them. We haven't been for a few years, but yeah, coming upon us very, very quickly indeed will be the end of this season. Thank you everybody for watching tonight. It's been an absolute honour to bring you the action again from the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. I've been Andrew Woodhouse, he's been Adam Bath, Sam Kumo has been on the cameras, and from all of us here at Apex Racing TV, we will see you guys next week at Brands Hatch. Good night.